Bitcoin has just seen a bearish swing failure pattern of some major highs and liquidity. Generally speaking, this is the best time to be shorting. One of the most epic trade setups you can get, a swing failure pattern of such big important highs. I will come down on a very low term time frame to show you the reaction. Look at that, the wick above, straight back down below, plenty of time to take a short trade, and now you're coming up for the retest for even more short trade opportunities. So everything on paper here, right, is looking like the perfect short. You combine a lower term time frame retest with the very important higher term time frame swing failure pattern of some major highs. The question you're probably wondering is, well, Daniel, let's see your short trade then. If this is such an epic short, tell us that you're in the short. And I will be explaining in this video why I am or I'm not in that short trade. I want to keep your attention and talk you through the process, because that's how you are going to learn. So first of all, I want to talk you through what I have been already talking through the champions over the past few weeks. And that was when we were coming up to all around this zone for the past 1 week, and then more locally here over the past 24, 48 hours on this ride. So really all of this section for me, and of course I've talked about this in my last few YouTube videos, for me, I've not taken a single short trade in this prior region. Why was that? Well, one simple factor. We had previously a very big resistance, or we were down here at $83,000 zone. And the first touch of that level, I did take a short trade there. And of course, we brought it down to $79,000, where I closed my short and opened a long. So I'm still in my long from $79,000. But originally, I was short from around 82.5 because that was a big resistance level. But what happened next was we flipped that big resistance after the rejection there, and we flipped it into support, right? So we've done a very important resistance, first rejection, and then we broke it and back tested it into support. So for me, this was a first local term time frame, we could say, but that's the first initial sign of strength. We have obviously off the back of a low high. This is a higher low by a few dollars, but still a higher low. And we formed a higher high. This is where I got into my long trade on the higher low. So we are seeing a clear market structure change at this point with another higher high on the lower term time frames. But most importantly was the flip of that $83,000 zone from resistance into support. And I just want to clear this up a little bit. So yeah, that for me was a major factor of not wanting to take a short. And on top of that, the other secondary major factor, let's say, was that I was not expecting a lower high to be built. So I was not expecting this to go lower high, lower high, lower high. If we had seen the lower highs here, or if we had seen the lower highs yesterday, I would have missed the short trade because I was waiting for the swing failure pattern. I was waiting for this liquidity to be tapped. I was very confident in the regards of, hey, I'm putting myself in this position. I made it very clear to the champion members. I've done several live streams on this. If we are to fall down, rewind to yesterday, even if we are to fall down from here, if we're to fall down from here, I will not be in a short trade because I am not shorting unless these highs are taken. And now, my friends, we have taken those highs right here. Actually, the very early morning in the hours, we took it. So those highs that I've been waiting for have now been taken. This is where I was waiting for my short trade off of a simple swing failure pattern. So now it comes to very interesting news. Before that, I'll keep you holding on here for a few more minutes. Before that, I want to say two very important factors that have come to this conclusion of have I taken the short or no. If you're a champion member, you already know. But for the general public, I'm going to hold you in suspense a few more minutes here. Really simply, we got the first factor, and that is the strength in gold. Wow, this has gone from strength to strength to strength to strength. It really has been outstanding. Gold is very good at these resistance into support flips. So if you look historically at gold, it's done this several times where it's had big resistance and it's flipped it into support. Okay, you can see again here, resistance flipped into support. Here on a local term time frame, you can see resistance, and you can see it ever so slightly here, broken, back tested, flipped into support. Then you've done it again at the big psychological zone, right? So you went from resistance, flipped it into support. So if you would look for that trend again, if and when it pulls back, you'd be looking for that support around 3,200, right? For a resistance, that's the trend of gold. It does, here you see again, resistance, flipped into support, right? In that regards, it's a very easy asset to understand when it's got strength and when weakness comes. So where would be that first sign of weakness? Well, when it breaks up and when it, instead of back testing resistance into support, which you would expect, if it loses that, well, that's the first sign of weakness on gold. And we have not seen weakness for a very long time, in over a year, because every single flip has successively being back tested as support. And so right now it's fair to say, absolutely, gold, massive new all-time highs, extremely strong, wonderful bullish assets. But what I want to bring your attention to is the weakness on the stock market. So the stock market has not got that same strength. Gold, extremely bullish right now. The stocks, much more weaker. Okay, Nvidia back down below $100. You see Tesla back down and around $225, making new lows there. The S&P 500 index here, again, weak with at the end of the day, lower highs and weakness on the drop yesterday. And this is a very interesting bit of information because, generally speaking, once again, we would see the stock market pulling back, and it was almost a guarantee. The stock market drops, Bitcoin drops. It's been like that for a good few months. It was very easy to think, stock market is dropping, well, we're going to look for the Bitcoin drop now. But over the past few days, Bitcoin has become uncorrelated with the stocks, and it's become much more correlated to gold. So that's a very important factor with the strength in gold right now. And Bitcoin becoming more correlated to gold than the stocks is aiding my decision making, along with the order flow. So on the order flow right now, we have bullish CVD divergences. You can actually see some shorts opening here to form those bullish CVD. Here you see 3.5 million shorts opening. We've got the bullish CVD divergences. So I'm looking at a few different factors across fundamentals and technical analysis. Well, the technical analysis, I think the order flow here, bullish divergences, is looking good. That's bullish. I think the correlation to gold is good and looking bullish. Fundamentally, we got a nice bullish bit of news, so to speak, right? With this guy Paul getting sworn in as the US SEC chairman. So that's brilliant in terms of this guy is pro crypto. So this can only be considered bullish. Again, it doesn't mean necessarily that the day that he's sworn in, it's going to instantly become super bullish. And but long term, we can say that is more bullish than bearish. So I'm happy to see this as a crypto bull. And for all these factors together, to answer the original question, have I shorted the swing failure pattern or have I shorted the retest? The answer is no. And that might come as a big surprise because, I love to short swing failure patterns. I love to short when I get the retests. But for me, no, I've not shorted the swing failure pattern. I've not shorted the retest. This information has already been given to all the champion members in Discord, and I've already done a live stream for the champion members this morning. So, first and foremost, you always get this information as a champion member. But here on YouTube, I'm telling you, and we'll release the video as soon as it's finished, right? But I'm not shorted here. And I'm, my reasoning is I actually believe, and we'll put an alert on to see if I'm right here, but I feel that this was a very easy swing failure pattern, really not difficult, right? Very simple swing failure pattern, very standard retest. So you got everybody, first of all, that shorted the swing failure pattern, and now you got a bunch of people shorting the retest. What I feel is that all of these, I'm considering them early shorts. You saw it here. Lots of shorts opening, several millions. I believe they're going to get stopped out. So I'm going to place an alert above the high. And if this alert is triggered, well, I made very much the right call here of not to short the swing failure pattern and not to short the retest. Very simple to say, if that alert is triggered, I read the market correctly. If the market falls down from here, I missed the swing failure pattern short, I missed the retest short, and I gave... I was very, very wrong on the decision not to short the swing failure pattern. So time will tell whether my insights into the market are good or not. Maybe I'm wrong on this. I think if you ask AI, if you look at any sort of, general speaking analysis, everyone's going to be saying this is the short. But I'm using my intuition, and this is where I will always say the human, well, this is going to be put to the test, right? The human, with its intuition and experience, does it beat the AI? You know, the AI, the bot taking the shorts right now for sure. Simple setup, it's got the activation. You know, the bot would be activated its shorts from the SFP. But the human, my brain is saying no, based off of the context, based off of my understanding of the market. Okay, and that intuition, I'm saying with my human brain, this is not a short. The shorts will get stopped out. That alert will be triggered and new highs are made. I think it's going to be very interesting to see if that's the correct thesis or not. But that is my thought process, and that is my human brain saying I'm not taking the short here, and that is the reasons why. I think we'll come up and make a new high here, and all the early shorts from that swing failure pattern are going to get stopped out. So that, of course, opens us up to one interesting pattern that I do think that you can be aware of here, and this is, again, just something to be aware of. But you do, of course, here have a little bit of maybe you have here your left shoulder, maybe here you have the head, and you could, of course, come down here for a right shoulder, right? And then we have maybe a bit of an inverse head and shoulders pattern forming, left shoulder, head, coming down for the right shoulder. Something to be aware of, absolutely. And I'm very interested if we do get a right shoulder for a long trade. You know, I'm very interested in that for sure. But for me, it's as always, you know, this is how I trade. It's level to level trade, you know, and when we come into a key levels, you know, what we are at right now with this swing failure pattern, I set my alerts. You know, I had an alert set at 88,600. I can show you my alert. You know, it was my alert triggering and at 2:20 a.m. and that swing failure pattern was put in. If you see here at 2:20 a.m. So I had my alerts ready and waiting. And, you know, this is what I do. I have my alert set. My alert is triggered and I will make an informed decision. And my informed decision this morning is I believe that we will make new highs. There is nothing in... I believe the short has been taken by a lot of people. And I believe that these are like the early shorts on an obvious, easy swing failure pattern. And I really believe that when a short is so obvious and easy, it will not play out. They will be stopped out. And so that's why we got the alert above the high and see if they all get stopped out and I'm right on that or not. But I hope this video has been helpful for you in terms of, you know, talking you through the process of why I've not shorted that swing failure pattern. You know, some key levels to the downside where we can look for those longs off of a potential inverse head and shoulders, or even if it's not that with a higher low, we put in the higher lows around here. Sorry, if we put in a higher high above $90,000. And then, of course, you can see where we're ready and waiting for just above 90,000. Then we got 92 to 96K as our next bigger resistance levels. So, I hope that you've enjoyed this video. Hope it's offered you a little bit of insights. Again, if you want the insights more in depth and first before everybody else, well, you can get that via the champions. And you can also, of course, see it in live streams that we've been doing. I done a live stream yesterday for the champions where I talked through that whole in, you know, a lot of detail. I've done another live stream this morning. Live streams all over the place. Good, strong community and active every day in a Discord, right? So, yeah, if that's what you want, you know where you can get it, chartchampions.com. Apart from that, hope you've enjoyed this video. Hope it's been insightful, and we'll see whether it is the right decision. It will be a funny one, right? If I've made totally the wrong call here, didn't short the swing failure pattern, didn't short the retest, and it's down from here, and I just totally missed that ripe short trade, and the AI wins, then we can say, hey, should listen to the AI. I'm going off my human brain, and nine times out of 10, my human brain beats the bot. Let's see if it continues. Cheers, everybody. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed. Thank you ever so much, and that's me signing out. Cheers, and goodbye.